Oh, hello. I'm actually playing with some new software. It's first thing in the morning here, and I hadn't actually realised I was live yet. I'm busy trying to figure out some new stuff in my part of my streaming kit. But welcome. You've just seen me streaming without knowing I was live. Juliana, totally walk your dogs. Ireland, huh? Hello, Avril. Yeah, you won't normally catch me at this time, I don't suppose, will you? Your cat wants out. So I'm just about to start. Just about to start the second session on this painting. I just thought I'd do a little bit this morning. Look, you caught me out of caught me on the hop so much I haven't even got my smock on yet. I'm just putting paint out. This is actually just today. This stream I'm doing now is actually just a quick test to make sure that everything is working. But I'm also kind of lucky because the kids are still in bed. Almost never happens. But just to explain what's going on with this painting, I'm hurriedly setting up my second mic because I didn't expect to immediately go live. I thought I would have to click something and say go live. So I might be a bit quiet. That should be better now. So this is a completely impromptu stream that I didn't expect to be doing. Hello, big lad. You all right?
Yeah.
Coming in? Could you close the door over if you're coming in?
No,
Just keeps the warmth in. Well, I've just set up a stream.
At 9 o'clock in the morning?
I know, right? Well, I was actually just testing it out. And I didn't think it was going to go live because I just got something new to add to it. And as it turns out, it has gone live.
Oh, so are people watching?
Yeah, actually.
The people?
I don't know.
Is it late for some people?
I don't know because I'm trying to work out this new software. I don't know how it works. Hmm?
Is it night?
Yeah, for some people it's nighttime. People in America, it's still nighttime.
9:06 minutes 3 a.m.
In some parts of America, it's 8 hours difference.
Oh, so it'd be only 1 o'clock.
Yeah, middle of the night, yeah.
Why is 3 a.m. the scariest hour of the night?
Do you think it's the scariest hour?
Because I see lots of people doing like stuff like I play for like at 3 a.m.
Oh, I don't know. That's just people trying to get views on YouTube, isn't it?
So I'm gonna go back upstairs. I just wanted to know what you were doing.
You can stay. You want to stay?
I might come down soon.
Okay. Is Mum awake yet? Is Jasper been awake yet? Yeah? Well, you just give me a shout when you want your breakfast and I'll sort it out, okay? So everything's all over the place at the moment anyway at home because the kids are off school, of course. We're effectively isolating here, live in the middle of the countryside, so we're kind of, we don't really have to try very hard to isolate out here. And the bit that's confusing me at the moment about the way that I have this set up now, the reason I've set this up, the reason I'm running this test is I just got a new setup together that allows me to stream to more than one place at once, because some people were saying, I've set up, for anyone who hasn't seen one of these before, I've started streaming every day whilst we're in isolation. I'm streaming painting sessions every day just to kind of Well, I started them just to do something positive, you know, for myself and for anybody who wants to watch. Let's clean this out as well. And to enable us to connect every day. So just on weekdays at 3 p.m. UK time, at the moment I'm streaming live every day. So this is an impromptu one. I'm just setting up because I thought I'd have might get a quick hour's painting before breakfast. And I thought I'd test out this new software I've got to set up at the same time. And lo and behold, it went live without me knowing. How about that? So at the moment what I'm trying to figure out is, I know that there's a way that I can see all your messages. I'm just trying to... Hi Sandra. Hello Jeannie. The thing is that I think this is live on YouTube as well. I'm trying to figure out, because I normally stream on Facebook, and some people said they wanted to see the streams, but they don't do Facebook, which I totally understand, you know. So this allows me to, what I've got set up now allows me to stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So I'm just trying to figure out where I can see what everybody is saying. I know it's possible. Oh, you're watching on YouTube? Yeah, the Pashad. Oh, right. Yeah, no, it is working. It is working. You can hear me. That's brilliant. Thank you. 6:15 p.m. in Australia. Thank you. Oh, it is actually working. This is amazing. But I think there's a clever little thing I can do. Apparently, I just can't figure out how to do it at the moment because I'm just working out this stuff. Is that I can... Fraxon on YouTube. Hello, thank you for watching. This is actually the first time I've done a stream this way on YouTube. So you can see my setup now. And Centurion is on YouTube too. That's so cool. It actually is working. Thank you very much for letting me know. Let me show you some stuff that's actually useful. Let me get the camera switcher up. So I always stream with these kind of multi-camera setups, okay? So let's take the palette off for a second. I'm going to go just to take the reference off and I'm going to show you the setup. Raxon, thank you very much. So here's my setup, okay? So now you can see a little bit more clearly if I can get out of the way of the camera for a couple of minutes. Here's the painting. A panel, a linen panel attached to the drawing board, and there's the setup down there. So this is probably about, the flowers are probably about 6 feet away from me. I tend to paint like this at full stretch, so this is about 3 feet away from me. So I'm not working site size. I wouldn't say I'm, actually I should have this blind down a bit, which is going to make the lighting better on the setup too. That's a bit clearer, but now I need to bring the exposure of the camera up a bit, I think, so you can see it better. Yeah, it's completely caught me on the hop today. So here's the camera on the painting. There's the reference. I'm going to bring the exposure of that camera up a bit so I can control the cameras from the laptop. As I paint, which is ingenious, but also makes for complication. So I started this painting yesterday. I did a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours or something on it yesterday. And at one point I was talking about mixing and I'd actually forgotten to switch the camera back onto the painting. So you can see I've made some changes. I'm not painting exactly what's there. This is a simplified version anyway at the moment. But I'm trying to organise the value balance here so that the lightest part of the painting is this. And also the background, I've brought the value up a little bit. In order to make a painting that's a bit more suffused with light, and I brought the chroma up a little bit as well. By chroma I mean the intensity of the colour. Hello big fella, where's your shirt gone? Don't come in, look, put your jama tops on, you're going to be cold.
Dad, why are you streaming in the middle of the morning?
Well, to be honest with you, I was just testing something new out and I didn't expect it to work. Are you not cold, boys?
No.
Put your jama tops on. In fact, stick your onesies on if you're going to come down here, because I don't think there's any heating on in here at the moment. It's a bit cold. Crazy boys. So yes, we're self-isolating, boys at home. Know how it is. Ah, you just subscribed to the YouTube channel. Well, the nice thing is, now that I can stream on both, I can do a lot more stuff on YouTube, because I've been mostly just doing things on mostly just been doing things on Facebook for a while. Hello Ruth. And you're watching me on Facebook. Good morning to you. I'm going to put your onesie on, huh?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Can they see me?
Can you see you?
No, can they see me?
No.
Good.
Where's your brother gone?
Just right outside of the door.
So this is all still pretty wet,
Can I see me? Can I see
which is nice because it means that I can...
Where is the camera anyway?
Huh? The camera's over here. Get your onesie on, big lad. Here, let me help you. You're going to be cold. Aren't you cold?
No.
You are a little bit, aren't you?
No.
Come on, here, put your feet in.
It's not that cold in here.
It's not that warm either.
Things over things over things. I was telling
Okay, if you go around there, be very careful of those flowers, okay? Don't knock them.
Oh, so someone's pointing at the flowers.
Yeah.
What? Oh. Oh, are you drawing those flowers?
I'm painting them, yeah. Come round here, you can see the painting, look. Get your arms in, go
I'm
on.
not drawing the flowers.
I'm painting them. Are you warm enough now? Are you going to be warm enough like that? I think that might be something to do with you. You're the only one who leaves marbles on the floor in my studio. Sorry about this, everybody.
Okay.
I've got a children-related situation going on at the same time. It's always like this in here at the moment. So before I do anything else, I'm going to mix up some colours. So I don't know if you can see these. Yeah, you can just see them. These are Munsell chips. So these are like the local colours of the lightest parts of the flower. The chroma is, so these are the same hue and they're the same value, but this one is higher chroma than that one, more intense colour. So this is titanium white, and this is Michael Harding Bright Yellow Lake, which is, the pigment is PY3, and if I mix the two of those together I get something similar to these, but the value is a little bit high. I'm going to keep some of that back because it's going to be useful. So if I bring the value down, this is Michael Harding Green Gold. We'll bring the value down, it will keep it green, but it will be too high chroma. Main thing I'm after is this value. The value is about right, but the chroma is a bit too high. I mix a bit more of that. Oh, kittens come in as well.
Everybody come in.
Everybody come in.
Except Mum. Yeah, except Mum. Mum's doing better on tablets then.
So that's actually pretty close. I want to drop the chroma a little bit. I want a lower chroma version of it, which will allow me to mix between them. to drop the chroma if I want to. This is raw umber. Michael Harding green, gold and titanium white will give me a lower chroma version. Oh, where did I put my blue tack? Are you stealing my blue tack again?
No. It's done. How long are you going to do the stream?
Probably not very long. I'm just going to get set up and then... Do you want your breakfast?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. I got up at 9:30 and I'm fine. Me. Dad, the blue tack's a bit too sticky. I can't actually get
So if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to ask me about anything as we go along about what I'm mixing here.
Oh, can I go on YouTube and see your live video?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube today and Facebook at the same time.
Wait, I just need this.
That's what I was testing out. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Can I lift him to get onto the chair?
Sorry?
I think he wants to go on the chair.
Yeah, let's see if he lets you lift him up. Just put one hand under his chest, you know.
Yeah.
That's a bit overexposed, that palette. There, I think that's better.
I lifted him up, but it didn't.
Is he alright with it?
Well, he kind of went like this. Kind of went like this. What does that mean?
I'm not sure.
It's fine.
He's not on the chair though.
No.
So now I've got these are the same values, so I've got a high chroma one and a low chroma one, and I can mix between them for the colour I want. Really nice fine control over the colour.
Can I tell you why Jasper's so sneaky?
Why is he sneaky?
Because he could put marbles on the floor, and when I woke up, I slept on them.
Oh, he put them around your bed?
Yeah.
No way.
I slept on them. Really on my
That
feet.
boy, yeah, I bet it did.
And I just stepped on 2 of these.
Oh yeah, he left those on the floor in here the other day. He likes to walk around with marbles.
Actually, I have
So-
a video right now.
Yeah, I got a video going.
What is it called? Dad, I don't see a video on here anywhere.
Avril, yes, if this is on YouTube, Avril says if this is on YouTube as well.
Live.
Could you close that door, please?
Just
If this is on you, oh, you're watching it on. Oh, that's cool. Look at that.
Whoa! Okay,
No,
someone
can you turn the sound off though, please? Okay.
Okay, I want to watch. So I'm going to use that mic.
Yeah, it will be saved, Avril. It will be saved on my YouTube channel as well. Yes. Although I'm probably not going to get much past mixing and setting things up. So what I'm working on at the moment is I'm just trying to make sure I've got the colours that I need, because most of the kind of the foundation of the painting was set up yesterday. I've got the value balance where I want it. I'm happy with that. The basic forms have been modelled. So I want to be working into the detail of the flowers a little bit now, but not too much. So I want a shadow colour as well, and for the shadow colours I'm using, that's actually the high chroma version. These flowers are fascinating because they have some very high chroma parts, but most of the shadows are quite low chroma. Hello, Brenda. And hello, Juliana. You didn't really put that in there, did you?
Wait.
Would you?
Can you
Jasper,
actually see it?
yeah. So can everybody else. Can you please back up from the camera tripod?
Oh.
Please, just don't be knocking the cameras over, okay? Yeah, it pops up. Yeah, it pops up on. Did you really put that in YouTube?
Oh wait, no. What?
You. Oh dear. What's?
What is it called? Can you tell me? I can't find it. Just type up Paul Foxton Live. Yeah, that's what I did. Oh, and those in the top one.
So this is the shadow colour. So what I do mostly when I'm modelling form these days is I'm turn the sound off, please. I mix up
Wait, actually.
a light and a shadow colour, just really simple, like binary, light and shadow. And then from there, I can modulate between them, and it helps me to simplify the form, and it means that if I can get these colours bang on right, then it makes the painting process a lot simpler. For the flowers, there's a lot more variation, obviously, though. Don't have enough chroma in there, so I want more. All right, man. Is he all right? Does he want out? Where is he? Where is he?
Right there.
Oh, he wants picking up. That's what he wants, a pat.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, and when he sits there and meows at me when I'm painting, it usually means he wants a pat. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but that's a little bit too green, so I'm going to bring it a little bit round, further towards orange with this, which is Williamsburg Quinacridone Gold Brown. It's quite a powerful tinter.
My gosh, I thought I stepped on the blanket.
And the other useful thing about this is that it allows me to get right back to the colours that I was using yesterday without any guesswork.
So
Can you see the video on YouTube?
Yeah, but
Way cool.
I can text, but even without Dad even knowing.
I will know because it comes up on my screen.
There's only 4 people. I didn't see clean text without you even knowing on my tablet.
Only 4 people? Do you think I should stop streaming then?
Yeah, there's only 4 people.
I think there might be a few more on
There's
Facebook.
a lot of people.
Because this is the first time I've streamed live on YouTube.
Loads of comments. Yeah. Yeah, Dad.
Mm.
I think it's really on the same person.
Oh, right. This is a very helpful person. Letting me know that everything is working all right, you see.
Yeah.
So this is like the average shadow colour. So if I pick up a bit of that and I put it here, you can see that's like the same colour that I've been using on the shadows there pretty much. Bean.
Oh! I'm getting out here.
Okay, stop putting comments up there, okay? Because that comes up as me.
What, 4 fox and the same?
Yeah.
What, 4 fox and the same?
Yeah, I don't mind you watching, but don't start putting daft comments on there, okay?
What? Live chat?
Mm.
Messages and everything. I can't go into that. But I'm glad. So, the same person who I'm watching from YouTube. I'm watching from YouTube. It actually said Dr. Doe pizza was like all
Thank you.
I said she ordered some pizza.
Yeah.
Everyone orders pizza.
You think so?
Ever order pepperoni? Hardly anyone orders.
Oh, really? Why is that then? No one likes pepperoni, no?
Like and subscribe and join the Todd today.
So the actual colour I want for these higher chroma parts in the flowers is between these two. So if I mix both of them, then I can swing between them. Can you stop putting messages on the stream, please?
No, I didn't
Okay.
put messaging, just showing one.
Oh, okay, that's okay, but don't. Okay. Okay. I don't mind a couple, you know, but don't go crazy, okay? The only reason is, oh, I've messed this one up. Too distracted. The only reason is because it might be annoying for everybody else, you see. Can you turn the sound off?
Yeah. I don't understand.
The problem is I need the sound off because it makes an echo, you see, because the mic in the room will pick up the sound.
Yeah, all of that.
And it makes an echo.
I'm gonna subscribe.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. I forgot to subscribe to Paul Foxton Live. I can't do it in here though, because I don't have the internet.
Don't have internet in here now.
Live? I can still do it. Wait, no, I can't. Yes, I can. Oh, I sound like Foxton. Paul Foxton live, and one watching. Actually,
Nice.
One.
Ah.
Bye. I don't even do.
Thanks, Liam.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm getting used to painting in the studio with the kids around now.
you can't subscribe to your own videos.
Can't you?
No.
No, I think you're logged on as me, that's why.
No, but if I'm logged on myself, I still can't do it because I don't have permission to subscribe.
Well, that's right, yeah.
I'll just watch the video then. Oh.
Probably going to want some of the background colour too. Now that was mostly mixed from raw umber, ivory black, so it's close to neutral, and titanium white. So this is like really close to neutral.
Started streaming 31 minutes ago.
Ah, okay. So I get it to about the right value. Maybe a little bit on the light side. And I'm bringing in just a little bit of chroma into it. That's too much. So I just want like a general colour for the background. There's quite a bit of variation in there, but if I get the general colour about right. So one of the last things I did yesterday, actually after the stream had ended, yesterday I did a little bit more work on the background. I brought the value down very slightly, and that's enough for a starting point. And brought the chroma up a little bit. More chroma. So back here, and I also brought down the value of these shadows a little bit because I want the background here and those shadows to be roughly the same value. Yeah, Avril, this is the Munsell Big Book of Colour. So you, I mean, just to show, I'll show you it quickly over the palette so you can get an idea of what it's all about. This is what taught me colour. It's very expensive, but it's like an atlas to the entire range of colour that you can get with paint. Munsell Book of Colour. So you have, these are the low chroma chips, but what you mostly have is a bunch of, so all of these are the same hue, and they go from dark to light, and from low chroma to high chroma. And you gradually move around the hue wheel. You see they're going more orange, around towards yellow. I'm doing a few at a time now, towards green. blue, green, around to blues.
Mine's gonna be chocolate.
Oh dear, I just put my book in my paint. Not the best plan. Well, I didn't mean to do it. And the way I use it mostly is, if you have an understanding of how colour changes from light to shadow, which you can get from studying painting studies of cubes and spheres and stuff like that, painted different local colours, then if you find, I'm interested in very close to exact colour as a starting point. So if you find the exact colour of something, and you can get very close with this, and then you can extrapolate like the light and the shadow colours from that. So I know that for yellows, as I go down from the light into the shadow, it's going to go down in value. In this instance, with these flowers, it's going up in chroma. Usually it would go down. And also it's going to pull slightly towards an orange yellow. So I can mix that, and it helps me organize, mostly it helps me organize the value balance. So I'm painting fairly light, so the darkest parts are very close to the actual values that they are in the subject. So my darks are right down the bottom of the scale. But then I go up the value scale quite quickly. So go up the value scale quickly so that I end up with a value balance in a painting that's a bit more kind of suffused with light. It's like, if you look up, I think I mentioned this before, The Practice and Science of Painting by Harold Speed. There's a really fascinating chapter on the value balance of paintings. So this is more like the Impressionists would have the value balance. So if you take some Impressionist paintings, like even modern Impressionists or someone like Monet, and you desaturate them in a program like Facebook, what you find is that they still appear to be suffused with light, even though you've taken out all of the colour. And most of that comes from the value balance. That's interesting. This actually comes in front of that flower. I think that's a change from where it was yesterday. So the thing about painting flowers is they do move around. Now I've got a photo, obviously, which you can see, which I took yesterday, of the flowers as they were then, so I can refer back to that a little bit as well, but I tend to work as much as I can from life. Possible. I'm just kind of trying to feel my way back in a little bit here. Figuring out where I want these leaves to show, because they don't need to put them exactly where they are as long as they work nicely in the painting. get into a little bit of the flowers. So I have to finish this painting today really, because the flowers are already starting to move around quite a bit. Well, generally I'll have, these are Da Vinci synthetic flats, and generally I'll have one for the lights and one for the shadows. I've started to rough these flowers out, and now I want to work into them a little bit more. Just to resolve the forms more than anything else. Because they're in a very kind of a simplified form at the moment. That panel is a bit blown out. Painting camera is a bit, let's bring that one down a bit. Light is gradually coming up. I paint. It's a bit better, I think. Hola, from Spain. You must be on quite a serious lockdown, I should think there, won't you, Laurel? Christine, thank you. This is quite it's quite a quiet stream today, because usually I do it later on in the day when people from the US are awake. I want to bring up, I'm thinking about the value balance. I want this really to stand out, that little highlight down there. It's key to getting the feeling of light working well. So right in the middle of the flower here, there's a kind of a higher chroma, lower value part, so I'm going to mix up another slightly darker version of that. Try not to push it too much. And this is Michael Harding green gold and Williamsburg quinacridone gold brown. And it allows you to get, in the yellow greens, quite a way down the value scale, it allows you to get a lot more chroma, which is really nice for the deep shadows inside the flowers. But I'm actually painting them slightly lighter than they appear. I want I want a neutral as well of about that shadow value. Because one of the fascinating things about flowers, especially these very light flowers, is the changes in chroma go from being almost neutral to having quite a lot of chroma. The darker version, lighter one. And the other thing that I do is I make sure I mix more than I think I'm going to need. Because for two reasons really. One, because it means I don't run out as I go, and secondly because it means I'm not tempted to try and paint thinly and fuss about without enough paint on the panel, which is pretty much guaranteed to produce not a very good result, especially if you want nice hard edges. It's really good to have plenty of paint on the brush. The reason I want this is because just around here it gets slightly lighter and the chroma drops a little bit in the shadow. I'm not going to paint the detail of that, I just want to get the overall shape. It's very subtle, it's slightly lighter, I think, than that. So I've got I'm squinting to simplify the shape, and I've got my eyes thrown a little bit out of focus too. And if I can get these sections working nicely in a simplified way, then I can resolve the forms a little bit more, work more into the details. So I start off very, very simple, just shadow and light, and then gradually, bit by bit, refine them down till I get to a point where I feel like they don't need refining anymore, and at that point probably the painting's almost finished. And if you do it this way, quite often I find if the colours are good and true, then you find fairly quickly that you actually need to paint a lot less. And it can be surprising if the colours are good and the relationships are good, it can be surprising how little you need to paint. Need a smaller brush now. So I'm working now from the actual setup, not from the photo. So some details of the flowers would probably be slightly different now. Which I always say is a brilliant excuse, because anything that's out, I can just say, well, the flowers have changed. But what I think I used to do quite a lot was I'd be getting into this stage of painting the petals and some of the detail a little bit too quickly. Before I'd got the value balance sorted out, and I've learned over time that if I if I spend a lot more time getting the overall value balance sorted in a very simplified way, then I end up with a much better result when I get to this stage, and I don't need to paint as much detail for the flowers to work. A nice hard edge down here, and that will be, I need thick paint for that. And hard edges will, even if I can't quite reach the values that I see there, hard edge will, and thicker paint will help that part to physically stand out. And I want it to be soft at the back here where it emerges from the shadow. So I've got most of the colours that I need ready mixed. You know, I've got a variation of light to dark and very low chroma to high chroma. So I can pretty much just go around the flower adding petals where I need to of about the right value and chroma. Try and get some of these more subtle variations in. And because the value balance between the light and the shadow is quite close, it keeps a kind of a lightness to the flowers. So I'm painting the shadows, the shadow parts of the flowers lighter than I see them. Morning, Olaf. No, you're not late. You're not late. I'm extremely early. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, that's very, very useful. Thank you. Yeah, Brenda, I couldn't sleep last night either. I don't know if it's, everything that's going on at the moment or what, but I woke up at about 3 this morning. It's another part of the reason that I'm on now. and I'm not usually until later. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, couldn't get back to sleep. Guess we're all a little bit worried at the moment. Middle of the night is a great time to paint. Except the light's not so good, huh? I'm going to soften this off. It can bleed off to nothing. I think I want a deeper value right in here. I go too far? A little bit maybe. I'm going to bring that back up again. Too dark. It looks a bit heavy compared to the rest of the... It's these yellows I really want to bring out. I think they're just so beautiful. I don't want to overdo them, but that's where the colour is coming from in the picture. That's why everything else has been painted really quite low chroma, you know, closer to grey. So that the yellow parts of the flowers really kind of stand out. And as I'm painting, I'm trying to relate everything to, like, these are the lightest parts here, and here. So I'm trying to relate everything to those, so that anything doesn't want to be quite that light, I bring down a little in value. To help those parts to stand out. It's all about just trying to keep the relationships sound darker than or lighter than. I could do a little bit more on the vase, but I'm probably not going to paint into the vase much because I kind of like it just sort of suggested this. As long as I've got, you know, like a feeling of light in there, then I'm pretty happy. It's actually really high. Value this bit down here. I need to be careful that it doesn't get anywhere near this value here because that needs to stand out. Being very light. Right. Yeah, fairly pleased with how that little bit is going so far. There's a few things I still want to sort out on what I've done so far today, but overall, I haven't messed anything up too badly, I don't think, which is always a bit of a result. For the first little painting session of the day. I'm going to be back on again today at about 3 o'clock UK time. And I'll be doing a bit more on the flowers and hopefully bringing the painting to a finish. I just want to resolve some of these forms mostly, really, and I think I'll probably be fairly near to done with this one because I like the way it's going so far. Just want to bring out a bit more of the forms. I think. So thanks very much for joining. I'm going to head off now and go and have breakfast with the kids. Do a little bit of my morning routine, which is a bit of teaching, a bit of primary school teaching with the kids. And I'll see you a little bit later. Thanks for watching.